I'm going to show you the best stocks, the ones that I'm actually going to buy right here in this video right now for July 2025. So if that sounds like you're in the right place, then let's get busy, right? This is the OVTLYR Trading Room, and we are going to be using what I call the golden ticket trading strategy. This is my style of trading using Outlier. And it starts with, what is the market telling us, right? We're not going to tell the market what it's going to do. We need to listen to what it's telling us. So first off, we need to be looking at the trend of the market, the signal of the market, and then the breadth of the market. This is the first three components of what we call the OVTLYR Nine Framework. Now, 40% of your stock's move is due to the market. 30% of your stock's move is due to the sector. And only the last 30% is the stock itself. So basically 70% of the move is done before you're even looking at your stock. That's what we're looking for right now. So let's go look at the market. Now, what we want to find is the SPY with the 10/20 price over 50 daily exponential moving averages. And when we do that, we have the 10/20 price over the 50. This is what I call the OVTLYR Trend Template. It's just 3 moving averages. That's it. 10/20 price over 50. And we can see this right now. This is a bullish trend. Next, let's go look at the buy or sell signal of the market in Outlier. So I'm going to come over here to our watch list. And I have the SPY, the Q, and the Dow Jones favorited. And I can see just at a quick glance that we have a buy signal on the SPY. So the next step is looking at the market breadth. We're trying to make sure that we are moving in the direction of the trend, being bullish breadth or bearish breadth. Now, breadth is measuring how many buy signals versus how many sell signals we have. Today, we have 136 new buy signals, but we have 154 new sell signals. So our market breadth is going to look a little bit ticked down today. Let's go look at that. Let's go look at that. Scooch this over here. You can see this is a little bit ticked down from the day before. The green line is measuring those buy and sell signals. The red line right there is the 10 EMA, the 10-day exponential moving average of the number of stocks on the buy list. So we still have bullish breadth right here. This is exactly what I want to see. So this means everything is lit up here for the market. The market is 100% bullish. That's exactly what we're going to be looking for. Now, let me introduce myself real quick. I know I'm just a random guy on the internet, but my name is Christopher Ewell. I've twice been awarded top 100 people in finance. I was mentored by 5 of the market wizards, the best traders of all time. I've been successfully trading since 2009, and this is where outliers like us save time, make money, and start winning with less risk together as a team. So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. The next step in my plan is to look at the exits. Before we enter new trades, we need to look if we need to get out of anything, right? Reduce risk before adding new trades. Now, as a risk-first trader, this is the mentality you have to have. Where do I need to take off trades? What stops do I need to adjust? Where do I need to roll up my options? Things like that. Reduce risk before adding new trades. So here, let's go through a little trading psychology lesson real quick before we get to that point, right? There are no expectations on the outcome of any trade that I put on. In fact, just this morning, I had reached my breaking point with people in our Discord just complaining about this and that and the other, and I actually made a Discord channel specifically for people who have are struggling with their trading psychology, so they can all have some group therapy together. And I called it the frustration station. And I get it, right? It's one thing to put on trades. That's fun and exciting. But if the trade doesn't immediately go vertical, people lose their minds. Right? Not me, because I'm cool, calm, and collected. I've been doing this for 16 years, right? When you put on a trade, don't set an expectation that you're going to win. Now, that sounds crazy, right? But it is a random distribution of wins and losses. You could have multiple losses in a row, followed by multiple wins in a row, or they could cycle back and forth, right? So having an expectation on the outcome of any one particular trade can lead to a lot of issues. So I am going to make sure to remind you, have no expectations on any of these trades, on the outcomes of the trades. Don't set any profit targets. Don't emotionally anchor yourself to any level on the chart at all. And then lastly, just have a plan to get out when one of your exit signals is hit. And so that's what I'm going to do. So first, we need to look at the market exit signals. If the SPY closes under the 20 EMA, or if the sector and market breadth crossover happens, close all trades in that sector. So let's go back to the market. Clearly, it's not under the 20 EMA. That would be right here, the 20-day exponential moving average. No issues there. And then we do have a couple that have crossed over on bearish market breadth, but not in the stocks that I'm in. I am in energy sector stocks only right now. I'm in Civi, EQNR, SM, and Oxy. These are the only 4 stocks that I own at the moment, and we could be owning 2 more stocks in just a couple minutes, so stay tuned for that. Next, are there any chart exits? Now we need to go through each one of these and see where we need to make changes. Okay. So first, let's start with Civi. Civi looks amazing. In fact, I think let's go ahead and roll up Civi. Heat map target exit is 63. So that is what I call an outlier exit, right? We're looking at the fear and greed heat map inside of Outlier, and we'll show you that in just a moment, and having a spread on what that looks like. So let's go, in fact, let's go to Civi real quick. Give me just a moment to click over into it. Andrew, guys, please don't ruin it for the rest of us by complaining and forcing him to stop sharing his trades. If you can't handle the risk, don't trade. Actually, that's a really good point, Andrew, right? If you are not emotionally ready to take losses, you shouldn't be trading. You shouldn't be trading. I would love to promise you, Andrew, and everybody else watching, I would love to promise you 100% win rates. It's never going to happen. It's just never going to happen, right? The point is keeping your risk as small as possible. So looking at Civi, for me, when I entered the trade, it was under a 50 level on the fear and greed. And so for me, my exit point on that is an exit at 63 on the fear and greed. So looking at it right now, it's not at 63 right now. In fact, it is at 40. You can see the number right here. And for today, it says 40.23. So it's moving up, but it hasn't crossed over that target yet. But it's within 10 cents, 13 cents of my rolling point. So I'm going to do that right now. Now, the reason that I roll trades is this. Let's go to that slide. Let's go to that slide. So if a stock moves one ATR in your direction, right, you're in the trade and it's working. If it moves one ATR in your direction, that for me is a trigger to roll up my options. And so you have to ask yourself, we have to do the look together, right? We will work it together. Can you roll up or up and out for a credit? If you can, by all means, now we can keep going. And as one order, you're going to sell to close the original position and buy to open the same number of contracts closer to the money. And the reason we do this is it takes partial profits now. It frees up capital right now, and it keeps the trade alive. So we're going to take partial profits out of Civi, and we could go trade with those profits right away. And we still get to keep the trade on. It's a really, really cool thing. It is such a hack, such a hack. So let's go look at Civi's options chain. I don't remember which one we're in right now, but let me go into my broker and my accounts on the other screen. In the business account over here, we're in the 27.5 calls for August 15th. So 27.5s. Now, can we roll down here, roll up / roll down, whatever you want to call it. We're rolling down the option chain, but up in price from the 27.5 to the 30. So if we do this, right, the way that it would look is you make sure it's, yeah, okay. We would sell to close by clicking the bid button. Let's say you already are holding 27.5s. You would sell to close here, buy to open here. Now that looks like it takes in a credit of $1.75. We've got 363 open interest. What I do want to look at, because that's the 69 delta, is how much extrinsic value do we have in relation to the ask price. So $1.64 divided by 430 is 38% is too expensive. So for me, I would not roll this trade. Reason being is that I try to keep my extrinsic value to around 20% or so. I will go at the very, very, very most 30%. I will not roll this trade up. And the only reason is because the extrinsic value is too high. So for me, I will keep that. But we're going to call this a phantom roll. We're going to get super fancy here. We're going to call this a phantom roll, a phantom of the roll opera. Phantom of the roll opera. There we go. A phantom of the roll opera. Now, the reason I do this is because even though I cannot roll it due to liquidity, I'm still going to treat it as if I rolled it. So I need to move up my half ATR from my opening half ATR. We're going to move it a half ATR below this point. Now, ATR measures your average true range. The average true range shows you the volatility of a stock. So if we zoom out a little bit, this will be really handy here. If we zoom out a little bit, you can see the volatility of the stock is pretty low currently, right? But if you go back just a couple months, look how high that volatility had gotten. Average true range of 2.93 is literally twice as high as the average true range right now. And that's because these movements were twice as big as that time, right? Now, the reason we care about that is it helps us position size based on the volatility of the stock itself. So if we're going to phantom roll this, we're going to move up the half ATR to, so the current ATR is $1.51, 1.51 divided by 2 is 75 cents, we'll call it that. The roll Phantom of the Rollopera roll is at 32.63, so 32.63, 31.88. 31.88. Half ATR from roll. 31.88. Okay. Meaning that if it closes under that point, I will now exit the trade. Okay. I don't know when that's going to happen, but it ain't today. So Phantom of the Rollopera just happened right here. So we are done with Civi. We checked the heat map. We looked at the chart. We saw it's working great for us. We want to keep the trade on. Unfortunately, due to the extrinsic value of the options chain, we can't roll it up. So we're going to keep it as if we did roll it up. Okay. Keeping the risk in check, looking to book those profits when they come. So Civi is beautiful. Let's go to EQNR. Now, EQNR, as of today, boosted right over that half ATR. It just blew right through, I'm sorry, that one ATR, meaning I would absolutely be looking to roll this guy. However, let's follow our plan here, right? If we look at this, we can see that I made a note over here to exit when the heat map hit a target of 70, EQNR. All right. Looking at this, we can see the fear and greed value has gone up fast, very, very fast. They don't normally go up this fast. But today, the fear and greed value jumped from 67 yesterday up to 73.96 today, hurtling right over my 70 heat map target. And so I will close this right now. And I'm actually really stoked. This was a beautiful trade, EQNR. This is how trading is supposed to feel, right? When you put on the trade, a couple of days later, you come back, you're like, oh, there's my exit signal. Right? How much emotion, let's break this down just real quick. How much emotion do you feel taking off this winner, this big, beautiful winner, versus taking off a loser? If you feel the same emotion, you're doing it right. Okay. If you see this and you're like, okay, I got my exit signal, I'm going to exit. Not, I got my exit signal, I'm so excited, I can go buy a new fancy watch this weekend. Or I'm so excited, I can go buy a Lambo this weekend. Or, oh my God, I can't believe I have to exit. I have to book the trade. It's a loss. Right? The input is still the same. You got an exit signal. You got an exit signal. That is it. Treat it in that regard. You will be successful. Stop getting all emotionally aroused. Stop getting emotionally aroused one way or another. If you have a winning trade or a losing trade, just follow a plan. Just follow a plan. So we need to take off EQNR. And this one was actually really exciting because this is the biggest number of contracts I've ever traded in my life at one time. Huge, huge, huge number of contracts. Literally 3 times as big as everything else that I have on the board in number of contracts wise. Now, why would I have that big of a size? Because the ATR value, let's go back to that real quick. The ATR value in Civi, remember, was about $1.50. That's the volatility of the stock. In EQNR, it was about 54 cents, meaning that in order to have the same number of risk or the same dollar amount in risk, I had to go 3 times as big. Does that make sense? Right. So like I said, this is the biggest by far number of contracts I've ever put on in a single trade. And it was a beautiful, beautiful trade. Let's go exit EQNR. EQNR, August 15th, 25 calls. Now I'm going to go, so I manage 2 accounts, my account, and then I have a family hedge fund. I'm going to start at 247, see if I can get filled to close at 247. Not yet. Let me bump that down to 245, replace 245. There we go. Now it's filling. It's going to take a minute. There we go. Okay, I am out at 245. Let me go into my family account here and close that. Close full position. Can I get 245 on that one again? And yeah, totally out. Okay, so I'm out of EQNR at 245. Now I will show you my returns on that one, and I'll update the Discord real quick. EQNR, I just closed at 245. And so that was it wasn't that big of a gain. It was only 18%. It was only 18%. Now I know if you've not watched this before and you hear me say only that big of a gain or not that big of a gain, only 18%, that's crazy. It's actually less than my average win. 18.79%. Trade number 1 closed EQNR. That was the 8:15, 25 calls for, what was it? It was 245, right? Yeah, 245. Reason being is it hit my heat map target. Heat map target hit. It was a positive 18.79% gain. And it helped my account grow by 2.83%. It was a small winner. I'll take it. There we go. Everybody in the chat, do me a favor. If you are done with EQNR, what I'd like you to do in the chat right now is tell me how that worked out for you. I would love to hear from you. Like Andrews says he just grew his account by 3.02%. That's exactly what I'm looking to hear right now. Feedback from you, real-time testimonials. How did you do on EQNR? That's what I want to hear. So put those in the chat, please. I'd love to share those and showcase for you. Corey said it was a winner for him. David says money, 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 money. 2.46 for Albertito. Joe grew his account by 1.5%. Steve says 2.79%. David says hashtag winning. Zachary, account impact positive 3%. EQNR from Steve I got in the day after and still made 15%. Cody says 24% in 2 days. Awesome. Anthony grew his account by 2.1%. Dr. J got up to 4.37. Outstanding. RT-Liner 19% win. Very, very cool. Lil Billy, aka Scott, got up 25% and a 2.37 account impact. Outstanding. Thank you so much for sharing. That's exactly what I'm looking for. My friend Architect Ray Ray's up 3.23%. Thomas grew his account by 4.35%. Way to go, Thomas. Yorn says, sweet. What's up, Yorn? Very, very cool. Outstanding, outstanding. Let's continue on here. Isn't it fun? Isn't it fun? Right. Now, don't get all excited. Don't get all aroused, as I was saying earlier. Just follow the plan. Let's look at SM. SM. All right. So on SM, we don't have any reasons to get out of the trade just yet. It looks like heat map target of 63. Let's go to SM. While that loads in, let me share some more friends here. Chris P is up 16.5%. King Arthur, 11.89%. Tactical Gamer just paid for how many annual subscriptions did Tactical Gamer pay for? Multiple years. Dustin up 34%. Shane just grew his account by 3.1%. Obviously, nice to see everyone winning. Outstanding, outstanding. Okay, let's look at SM. Current heat map shows 54.69, so it's continuing to grow. I mentioned earlier that my heat map target is 63 on this one. I do see a slight change that I need to make, and that would be moving up my half ATR to now follow the 10 EMA, because you can see it's just like 3 cents higher, but we're going to move that right now. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to say that we're now following the 10 EMA as our trailing stop. All right, we're now following the 10 EMA as our trailing stop. No other reason to get out of this one. Let's move on to Oxy. We still have a lot to do today. I think we are going to be putting on some new trades as well. The next one here is Oxy, OXY. Not quite up to the rolling point. Heat map target I wrote as 62. Let's see where Oxy's at right now. Rick got 9.23%. Outstanding. Patrick says my arousal is up, but in a good way. Okay. Oxy's Fear and Greed is at 53.74%, up from 52 yesterday. Now, why do I care about this, right? I want to be buying a stock as it's getting more and more greedy. I want to get out once it stops getting more greedy, right? Once we hit that peak and it starts to contract and get more fearful, less greedy, Chris is out of the way. No way, Jose, am I holding on to that. But I don't see any other reason on this one. The half ATR is still slightly above the 10 EMA. So those are my exit rules that we just went through on my 4 existing trades, right? The half ATR being broken or a 10 EMA stop loss. We didn't run into any order blocks, any of these. No gap and craps. Blows below the prior day's low once we're rolled. So let's also mark a note on Civi. Just to put a note on here just so I don't forget. Close below prior day's low. That way I don't forget. Because we did Phantom of the Roll Opera on that one. SM and Oxy are going to stay as they are. All right, very cool. Everybody good? Everybody good? Everybody making money over here? Everybody sounds good? This is what I was talking about here. Once the Fear and Greed heat map stalls or reverses, that's where I like to get out. let's move on. Let's move on, right? Let's move on to today's member highlight. Now it's Friday, so you know what happens on Friday. Chris has to pull out a spreadsheet. Hang on. Chris has to pull out a spreadsheet on Friday because Friday is, where is my button for that? It is, oh yeah, our member highlight. That wasn't it. That's not the one I'm looking for. It's our weekly winner circle, this one. All right, so weekly winner circle. I need to get my spreadsheet out because there's so many people this week that updated and shared with us their winners this week. Oh my gosh, how many this week? It was bonkers. There are, make this bigger here. There are 119 of you shared your stories of how you used Outlier this week. And if you don't mind, we're going to feature a handful of y'all real quick. Let me go into the share your big win section. My favorite ones, by the way, are where you guys are sharing the screenshots, like this one here, like Viet Win. I think Viet Win is actually here live. Viet Win, if you're here live, do me a favor and say hi. I found Chris and Outlier back in March. After a few weeks, I subbed to Outlier and I thought it would test his trading method out. I turned my Robinhood account into a test account to avoid the euphoria of a few wins and quickly posting review from a few screenshots of big wins. I decided to try it out for 3 months before posting this review. This is a long time coming. Oh, here we go, Viet. I'm absolutely blown away at my gains in 3 months. 2x my Robinhood account, even with losers like the last couple ones we had. And you can see the dips caused by those bad trades on the graph. But overall, it did very little to the overall gains. And after a month of profitable trades, I started using the same method on my Fidelity account and gained another 16% in that. Thank you, Chris and the Outlier team. I don't usually write reviews, but when I do, I really mean it. Again, thank you. Outstanding. Look at these, right? Look at these. Viet, you are such a rock. This is his 3-month chart. Look at this. Right? Way to go, dude. This is just from June to July. I'm so proud of you and all of our other outliers, right? This is so much fun. Hubert says he's up 13% this month on account. El Toro loves to show when he started using Outlier, right? Boom, boom, like that. Outstanding work. And then let me find one more screenshot. I love the screenshots. Here we go. Carol Catherine, we hear from Carol all the time. Carol, I hope you get to watch this, right? I purchased Outlier for my birthday. I followed Chris's trading plan since then, but chose my own stocks to keep in my portfolio so I can build generational wealth. That's what I'm talking about. I'm ready to scale up as the returns were great last year. Chart shows I'm up almost 50% year to date since Outlier. What? That's what I'm talking about. And it keeps rising despite the market going up and down. I'll probably build a portfolio for all seasons, and I could not do it without the Outlier team and members. So congratulations to Carol, to Viet, and to everybody else. Right now, let's give away some money. How's that sound? If you are here live, I want you to type in #Outlier in the chat. I'm going to give away a $10 Amazon gift card right now. #OVTLYR. I'm going to give away a $10 Amazon gift card right now if you're watching this live. And we are also going to give away a $10 gift card for every 20 people who pull through here, right? So there's 119 people. I'll round it up. We're going to give away six $10 Amazon gift cards plus the one right here. It's not my money. It's Outlier's money. So we're good for that. How about that? Put #Outlier in the chat so I can send you a $10 Amazon gift card. But we need to go over to one of my favorite websites, random.org, and it's going to verify I'm a human. That took far too long. Of course I'm a human. Let's go over here. Random number generator between 1 and 119. Okay, so we're going to hit this 6 times. And what I need to do is I need to number this list. 1 equals this plus 1. And let me go all the way down the bottom. There we go. We've got amazing people in here like Shane the Plumber, Skinny Buff Guy. We've got Steve. We've got Senior Wahoo. We've got Dogtown Trader, Mr. T-Rex. We've got Jeremy Holden, a NASQ. I know you're here. I just saw your chat a couple minutes ago. And we've got Viet Win himself. Everybody's here. So we're going to give away, actually it's 118. There we go, 118. We're going to give away 6 of these in 3, 2, 1. First winner is number 50. Number 50 is a Tactical Gamer. Congratulations to a Tactical Gamer. You are the first $10 Amazon gift card winner. Let's do another one. Number 73, right? This is just like the lotto. It's so much fun. Sean. I don't know what Sean that is. Hopefully you know which one you were by posting in the Discord. We'll find you. We'll find you. Don't worry about that. Eric Adams. Wait, the mayor of New York City? Let's do number 3. Number 3 is number 47. Number 47. This is like bingo, right? Oh, Senior Wahoo. Senior Wahoo sent me a really sweet email. I hope you're watching, my friend Senior Wahoo. That was super, super kind of you. Number 4 is going to be number 14. Number 14 is Scott Andrew Magoo 1972. Let's continue on. And number 18 is Grab. All right, Grab. Congratulations to you. So how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, one more. Last one. How much fun is this? Let's give away one more. Everybody's making money today. Number 36 is El Toro. Very cool, El Toro. I know you are one of our very active people here in the Discord, so outstanding work to everybody. Hey, there's Senior Wahoo right there. Outstanding work, Senior Wahoo. Really appreciate that email too. Look at all these winners today. We've got, let's go through that list again. Magoo 1972, Scott Andrew, Grab, El Toro, Senior Wahoo, a tactical gamer, and Sean. All of you are winners. April will send you the gift cards on Monday, and outstanding work. And by the way, if you haven't put hashtag Outlier in the chat, I'm about to give away one more live, and you have to put hashtag Outlier in the chat in order to be qualified. And we're going to draw in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Okay, who's it going to be? Who's going to be our big winner here? It is going to be Philip Over. Dude, outstanding work, Philip Over. I am taking a little screenshot of that so I can send to April to let her know to send you that gift card. Philip Over, do me a favor, Philip, and only Philip, please. Send us an email over at support@outlier.com. I'm letting April know that you're going to be sending that, and that way we can have your email so we can shoot that back over to you. And let me send her an email real quick. To April, Friday. Gift card winner. We did 6 on the live stream plus 1 hashtag Outlier winner named Philip Over. Outstanding work, Philip, and all the other winners today. You're all winners today in my book, so congratulations to all of you. Let's continue back over here. Isn't this the best channel? Right? Please continue to tell me your success stories in the chat. And look, if I've helped you out in any way, the best way that you can pay me back is by just telling everybody you know about Outlier, right? Because that's the first rule of Outlier. Tell everyone you know. And of course, hit the like button. Now let's get back to looking for the best stocks for July 2025, right? The question from Mike is, are we putting on any trades today? Mike, let's check that out. What are the sectors telling us right now, Mike? Let's go find out. The 30% of the move is due to the sector, right? We looked through the market. We confirmed all that's bullish. Let's go look at the sectors now with the fear and greed and the breadth. We talked a little bit ago, and Philip, I'm going to close this right now. Congratulations again, Philip. We talked a little bit ago about these different sectors down here that were bearish. However, I have a different nuanced view of bullish and bearish. And so one that I would actually consider bearish is materials. Materials is a sector that I would consider bearish in this case, and I'll show you why. Because while it's still crossed over, it got what I would call overbought in the sector, and it went from 46, 60, 74, 81, 84, and then it started to have more sell signals than buy signals. It went from 84% down to 78%. And because of that, that is where Chris stops considering that bullish, because it's more likely, in my opinion, to roll over than to continue higher, right? Let's think about it this way. Conceptualize this. When 100% of stocks have buy signals, what's left? There's no more stocks to get buy signals. All that's left are for sell signals to start coming through. And when those sell signals start coming through, you can see just how quickly it can sell off, right? So I'm looking for that to now reverse at this point, so I wouldn't be getting in the way. In fact, if you want to follow everything that I do over in Outlier's Discord, I actually put out my daily update every day. And the energy, healthcare, real estate, and staple sectors are the only ones that I would consider bullish. The others I would consider bearish. Even utilities, even though it has bullish breadth, it has bearish fear and greed on average in that sector. So we're only going to be looking at stocks in these 4 sectors. So the next step would be running the screener. Now, this is my screener criteria. And the way that I would do this, and for time saving sake, I would only look for these in those sectors that I just talked about, and then confirm that those sectors are all set up on the breadth as well as on the fear and greed. But because I've already done the work for you, we're going to skip on, and we've known which ones are 100% set up from the market and the sector's viewpoint. Let's go now to the stock itself. So if you've watched this far, you're probably asking, well, what is Outlier and how does it work, right? Outlier shows you, or remember when old Uncle Warren used to say, be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. Outlier shows you if investors are acting irrationally fearful or greedy and by how much, allowing you to get in the stock before the outlier move happens. Now, if you're ready to save time, make money, start winning with less risk, it's just 3 easy steps. Step 1, head on over to outlier.com, pick up the annual pass for just 82 cents a day. Or if you're on the monthly trial, you can actually save 64% by clicking that one button, and it'll save you 64% off the monthly price. Step 2, start using the OVTLYR 9. We're showing you how to use that right here, right now. And the people who are watching live on the very best channel of all time, they are, in fact, I think Tactical Gamer was one of our winners. Congratulations to you, my friend. The very best traders of all time watch this channel. It's true. Joe Biden wishes he watches this channel. But in all reality, step 2 is following the OVTLYR 9. And step 3 is sit back and relax because you just found the easiest way to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk. Now, what are the stocks telling us, right? What are the stocks telling us? We want to look at the trend, the signal, the fear and greed, and the outlier block. So running the scanner, it's going to pull back a couple hundred, right? But I've already done all the legwork for you. And let's review the charts that I have actually found that I am interested in looking at, First, no order blocks in the way. So I'm going to pull over into Trading View, and I'm going to look at just these two. I've gone through tons of them today for you because I love you and I love the game. I'm looking at BTI and EU. But listen, have you seen, there's a music video by Jimmy Fallon and will.i.am called EU. Oh my gosh, it is so freaking funny. It's like they're teenage girls. They're having a party in one of the girls' basement, and they're like, ew, 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 ew. And then their stepdad stepdad Garrett comes down. Oh my God, it's my stepdad Garrett. Oh my gosh, my kids and I rock out so hard to that song, and they're always like, ew, Dad, you look like Garrett. Ugh, ew. Yeah, you got to check that out. It is so stinking funny. Okay, BTI and EW are the two that I'm looking at today. Let's start with BTI. Okay, Luke has seen the whole series. Yeah, there's one with John Cena, and that one was really funny too. EW. So looking at BTI, and right here, man, does it look great, right? We've got our 10 over 20, price over 50, no outlier blocks in the way. In fact, let's roll through the OVTLYR 9 here real quick, right? It has, the trend is good. Let's look at BTI. Let's go look at BTI. Here we go. We got that buy signal, 10 over 20, price over 50, getting more greedy, right? It was actually ultra greedy at 98 out of 100, came down a bit. Now it's gone up. It actually bottomed at 85. Now it's going back up from 85, 89, 85, 98. Now, as high as this is, I'm still interested in taking the trade, but I will give it a 5-point fear and greed heat map run right there. Only a 5-point spread. So if I got in right now, I would get a 5-point spread to get out at 90. 85.98 would translate to 90 as my exit point, which is super duper high, but it's a new opportunity, right? So no outlier blocks, no earnings in the way. The price is above the 10 EMA, and it is above the prior day's low. That's what matters to me. Man, does it look great. So let's go over into the options chain for BTI. Jan bought it 90 minutes ago, and he's already up 8.5%. He stole my thunder. Thanks a lot, Jan. Thanks for leaving me a couple of them, bro. No, actually, way to go, dude. I'm really proud of you. I'm looking at the August 15th, which is 35 days out. Looking at the 48 calls. Now, why the 48 calls? First, it has 329 open interest. My minimum is 250. Next, let's talk about the extrinsic value. 81 cents. 86 cents of extrinsic value over $4.20. So let's do it. 0.89, 0.86, whatever. Divided by 4.20 is 20% extrinsic value. That's exactly in the wheelhouse that I want to go to. Because remember, extrinsic value goes to zero every time on every stock, no matter what. So I'm looking at this one. Let me go into my broker account, my business account on the other screen, and go to BTI. I'm going to go to August 15th and the 48 calls. Get your position sizing, right? Your position sizing is going to be vastly different from my position sizing. In fact, I forgot to get my position sizing early. I usually do this ahead of time. I need to let the calculations calculate. Okay, I know how many contracts I need to get for my account. How many contracts do I need to get for the hedge fund? Okay, got it. And so now I need to put that number in over here. And I'm putting my order in at 415. My account, go. Working order for 415 on the 48 strike. Not filled yet. What I like to do, if I don't get filled right away, that's not a big deal, but I do need to start working it. So BTI at 415 is not getting me filled. So let me try 420. Hang on, did that go? 420. Not getting filled because all you jerks are buying it out from under me. How dare you? All right, let me try 425. Y'all are stealing my profitability. I want you to know that. 425 is not filled. All right, again. 430. Surely I can get price approved. 426 was my fill price. 426 is my fill price. I need to buy it for the hedge fund. Get that number. 426 was my fill price on my account, my hedge fund account. Got in at 425. All right, cool. So I'm in BTI at 426. I'm going to put the notification out on Discord. Trade 2, trade 1. Where is the close? Or where's that open? Oh, there we go. Okay. 7, 11, trade number 1. Or that was really trade number 2, wasn't it? Trade number 2 bought the 815. We'll tell you, who's that again? BTI. This was the 48 calls for 426. BTI is currently trading at 51.31. Good to go. All right, we'll mark up our chart here in just a few minutes on where we're going to get out. That's right, no expectations. Follow the plan. Thank you, Corey. Next, ew. Let's go look at ew. Dude, could you imagine? Like you work your whole life, you create this amazing company, and your ticker symbol you ended up on is ew. That would suck. Okay, let's go look at ew. We're looking at the August 15th. Here, this is what I'm looking for. Starting at 21 days to expiration, 250 plus open interest, less than 50-cent bid ask spread, 20% or so extrinsic value. And that puts us around the 80 delta. So if we look, that puts us on the ew, 815, 72.5 calls. Now it's a little light on liquidity. 211 versus 250 is what I normally go with. I'm okay with that as long as you guys don't steal it from me. So I'm gonna go buy it real quick without you knowing how much I got for it. And then after I've already got all mine, I'll tell you what it was. That way I can already be profitable. I'm just joking. I wouldn't do that with you guys. I have my position size and going to ew. I'm going to the August 15th, 72.5s. Get my position size here. Double check that. No, actually, yes. I'm gonna try it at 7. I'll just try it at 7:30 before y'all try stealing it from me. Ooh, fill at 7:30. Great. I would have loved to fill at 7:25, but it's okay. All right, let me do the family hedge fund here real quick. And okay, got that number. It is a lot more work to manage more than one account. I just want y'all to know that. If you're managing one account, that's a lot easier. All right, filled at 7:35 on the second account. So the first one I got in at 7:30. Okay. So that's going to wrap it up on the new trades that I put on today. But before we go, we need to talk about where we're going to get out of these trades, right? It's so sexy. It's so fun to put on new trades. But do you actually know where you're going to get out? I don't know if you do. Right? I don't know. You have to figure that part out. But I'll show you my plan. We got in the 72.5 calls. Price was 7.30. Trading at 78. 16. That was actually 15 a second ago. Okay. So those are my only two new trades today. We closed one. We Phantom of the Opera rolled another. And we put on two new trades today. So it's a bit of work today, right? Now, where are we going to get out? You tell me, right? Thomas says he's getting out at the end of the day. All right, go for it, dude. David says, I'm getting a Lambo. Nate says, I'm managing 5 accounts. And it does take a lot of work, for sure. Chris, can you talk about the order block being resolved? Yeah, so these order blocks here are areas of support and resistance that we have. In fact, you can get a free TradingView account and then use our free indicator that we have inside of our Discord, and your trade, your screen can look exactly the same as mine. Now, this order block right here are areas of support and resistance. And right here, it actually cleared 1, 2, 3 different order blocks on this previous candle. 1, 2, 3 order blocks were cleared. That is a great sign. Now it's come down a little bit since the day prior, but that's okay. It still looks great. Exactly what I'm looking for. Order blocks of, like I said, areas of support and resistance, and we just blew through that resistance yesterday. Pull back slightly, but I'm okay with that. Dave says he manages 6 accounts and his head hurts. Yeah, Scott's managing 6 accounts. Oh my gosh, I thought I had a lot to do with it too. All right. EU is surging. I'll take it. Now let's go look at where we're going to get out of these trades. It's so exciting and fun to get into the trades. And let's start at BTI. Where in the wide world of sports are we going to get out? So I'm going to mark number 1 where I got in on the date. Number 2, I'm going to use this bullish ATR levels little cheat sheet here. And I'm going to put on my half ATR stop loss right here around 50.78. My actual entry price on this was 51.31. So I'm going to come over here and add my opening line to 51.31. Opening line at 51.31. Okay. Was that like the very top of the candle? That's fine. And then I need to put on my ATR signals going up. ATR plus 1, ATR plus 2. And then lastly, let's go to BTI. There we go. We see on here that it's at that fear and greed value of 85.98. Now that's super duper high for sure. My limit is 90. I wouldn't even put it. I wouldn't even see a trade if it's over 90. So my exit rules are, if it's over 75, giving it just a 5-point spread on the fear and greed heat map. So it's at 85.98. My exit would be 90. Of course, if you want, you can roll, not roll, but round up to 86. By all means, go for it. You do you. I'm just going to do 90, right? So heat map target 90. So I don't know when that's going to happen, right? I'm just going to follow a plan and get out. I'm just going to follow my plan when I get out. All right, next, let's go to ew. Looking at this one here, let's mark where we got in today. Let's mark where we got in for the opening price, which I don't remember what it was. We're going to look at it just over here in the Discord, because I always keep that up to date. 78.15. There we go. Now let's put our ATR lines on. These are our volatility-based exits and rolling points. These are not arbitrary. These are not certain percentages. It's going to be different on every stock out there, because every stock is going to have slightly different ATR values. And let's put that right here. Boom. There we go. And then we'll take that off. And let's go look at our heat map value on ew. Listen, you're going to get real tired of me saying ew every time we talk about ew. What is ew? It's a healthcare stock. That's funny. Edwards Life Sciences. Can you imagine Mr. Edwards, spending all this time and money and energy, the entrepreneur he was, and he built this huge company, and then his stock ticker is Ew. Unless that's what they want, right? Unless that's what they want, which is pretty hilarious since it's a healthcare stock. Ew. So the value, the heat map value today is 5168. So for me, my exit would be 10 points higher. 5168 gives me 10 point spread on that heat map. So we'll say heat map target of 61. All right. So let's see. But the Hammer Donkey says, can you tell us how you set up a family hedge fund? Yes. Family gives me money. I put it in account. I trade it. That's the family hedge fund. We don't have any sort of official agreement with me. Okay. So here's what I want to do, right? I got just a couple minutes. What I'd like to do is on these trades we put on or on the trades we already have on, do you have any questions, right? The objective here was to, go through the plan, follow the plan, put on new trades, take off trades, roll some trades, do what we need to do. What questions do you have about these trades? Because, we're going into the weekend, right? And in fact, the best trades that I've made this year have been on Fridays going into the weekend. The first giant wins that we had this year were on May 9th. And that was the weekend that Besant was going to Switzerland to meet with the representatives from China on trade talks. And I can't tell you how many messages I saw in our Discord. Are you sure you want to do that? There's so much risk to that. Within 3 calendar days, my account was up 30%. Why was it up 30%? Because I followed my plan, right? I followed my plan. The trades were there, they were setups, and I took them. There's always a reason not to trade, but only if you are a professional trader will you follow those trades no matter what. I didn't have a SoFi trade. I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't ever traded SoFi, not once ever. It just crossed over $20, right? So now I'm a SoFi bro. It just crossed over $20 a couple days ago. Now I'm a SoFi bro. But I'm telling you, dude, SoFi makes me nervous AF right here. Let me tell you why it makes me nervous AF, right? So Outlier got that buy signal back on June 20th, and it's gone up like 38% since that point. This reminds me so much of HIMS, right? Remember what happened with HIMS, right? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Look at that huge move up in HIMS, right? I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw something just like that happen with SoFi. And let's be real here. SoFi's a meme stock. You can say all day, every day, how they're changing the world with their amazing financial products, whatever. It's a meme stock right now. It is by far 100% a meme stock. Just watch out for that pullback, right? Now, if we look at SoFi's chart, right, the breadth in that sector is falling fast. The fear and greed in that sector is actually continuing to rise. So that's great. And the fear and greed value on SoFi went from 66 when that buy signal came, and now it's pushing all the way up to 85. So it's gone up 20 fear and greed points here. I'm telling you, I would have already been out of it had I taken that trade, but I didn't because I don't trade $15 stocks. I am a snob. I only trade stocks that are only $20. And I do so with my pinky up in the air. But now it's a $20 stock and a stock that I'm actually very nervous that it's going to come back in a very quick way. But I could be wrong. Let's see. How do you figure out taxes on a hedge fund? I don't know. I'm going to give it to my accountant at the end of the year. And what's great about broker statements is it says, this is how much you paid, this is how much you made, and this is your gains on it. Boom. Architect Ray. Chris, when you roll up, do you still use the initial heat map entry or do you use the current heat map? So I'm still going to use the initial heat map entry from where I got in. Like, for example, on SoFi, right? Mr. Ray here, you could have rolled it up probably 3 or 4 times, and each time would have given you a new heat map starting point if you chose to do so. But for me, I would, my conservative viewpoint on this is the heat map value at entry is the heat map value that I'm going to use to base my exit on. Can I send you a check? Not yet. Not yet. Actually, you could head over to outlier.com and pick up the annual pass for just 82 cents a day. There we go. But Chris, how could you trade before the weekend? I don't know. I just follow a plan, I guess. By the way, Steve made 19.7% on SoFi after the video this week. Outstanding. Dude, Pepperidge Farm remembers, I'm telling you. Nate says, yeah, HIMS cost him a lot of money on that pullback for sure. Michaelo says, seems like stock after trades was closed performed good, but they are not on your radar because buy signal is not reset. Any room for improvement here? Okay. So, Michaela, I've been doing this for 16 years. By all means, is it the bestest, mostest, perfectest way to ever trade? I would absolutely say not. But you do you, follow your plan. If that's going to work for you, go for it, right? You do you, find a plan that works for you and roll with it. That's what I think. Bull Market Genius says SoFi is a kettle ready to blow. It's blowing right now. I just don't know how far it's going to blow before it comes back. It just really, really, really makes me nervous. Thomas says, when you pick the strike price, would you consider the contract price over the extrinsic value? Is the extrinsic value still under 30%? I mean, would you go for a higher extrinsic for a lower price? Higher extrinsic for lower price. Yes. In fact, let's do that as an example here. Higher extrinsic for a lower price. So let's draw on this real quick, because I think Thomas has a great point. Now, I really like 20%. That's my wheelhouse. If I can be in the 20% wheelhouse, I'm a happy boy. I will fudge that number up to 30%. I mean, really 29%. I'll fudge it just a little bit up to 29%. If it's 30% or greater, I will not touch it, no matter what. But if it's less than 30%, any value less than 30%, that's great. Now, to his point here, right? There's multiple places where you can actually buy the contract for less in dollar amount, but it has a higher extrinsic percentage. Okay, so let's do this. So I don't know if you can tell, but I know my shit because I love this game. 269 over 580. 2.69 divided by 5.8 is, I must have done that wrong. 2.69 divided by 5.8. 46% of this contract's value is extrinsic. Okay, so let's go up just 2 strikes. Just 2 strikes. We're only focusing on these numbers here, not the open interest. If we look at this strike here, that is $1.63 divided by, start over. 1.63 divided by 9.90 is 16% extrinsic. Okay, so between 2 strikes, the 70 strike and the 75 strike, one of them costs 46% extrinsic, the other is 16% extrinsic. Obviously, I went for the one in between those 2 points. But Thomas, you're 100% right. If you are cool with tolerating a higher value on your extrinsic value, you can go for a higher up strike price and pay, in this case, about, I don't know, give or take half almost of what the price differences are. So yeah, makes total sense to me. If you need to do that, by all means, you can. Snobby McSnobby face. That is certainly me. Let's see. You're welcome, dude. I love you, man. Let's see. Any other questions? I think everybody looks great. Listen, it is going to be a fantastic weekend. That's what I think. Reason being is because I'm taking my wife out on the town to celebrate her birthday. We're staying at literally the fanciest place in Dallas. We got the biggest suite there, and I'm so freaking excited about it. And we're leaving in about 20 minutes. So Chris got to get out of here. If you're ready to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk, be sure you click one of these 2 videos. I mean, if you love losing money and you love trading with lots more risk, don't click them. But if you're ready to save time, make money, start winning with less risk, click one of these 2. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll talk soon.